Hello, ICF. This is your pastor coming to you right here in the sanctuary of our ICF church. And, we're so glad that you've chosen to tune in to us today. I know that God has some great things in store. I believe that God is still on the throne. Prayer still changes things. And I'm believing that He's going to resolve the situation that you find yourself in. Whatever it may be, God is in control. This past week, I have been reading 2 Samuel chapters 15 and 16. And in those chapters, it's talking about the story of Absalom overtaking the kingship and taking away the kingship from his father. We can't even begin to imagine such a terrible thing. I mean, such a wicked thing that your own family member would stage a coup d'etat and try and take over what God has placed you into and into your life and what you're doing for the kingdom of God. We can't begin to understand, but we know that from this history here in 2 Samuel, that it was Absalom who undermined his very own father to steal the kingdom of Israel away from, to steal the kingship away from his very own father and cause him to be exiled, cause him to go on the run. This is just unheard of. The thing about it is when I read this passage, I see that David encounters various people along the way. One of those people that he encountered was in chapter 16. And as he was going through the countryside with some of his entourage, trying to get away from Jerusalem, trying to get away from his very own son, who would seek to kill him, David came across a man by the name of Ziba, who was a steward of Mephibosheth, and he was waiting on him. Here he was as he had come across the summit of this mountain, and here was Ziba, who was waiting for him with supplies for he and his entourage. In fact, in chapter 16 of 2 Samuel, in verses 1, it said, when David had gone a short distance beyond the summit, there was Ziba, the steward of Mephibosheth, waiting for him. He had a string of donkeys saddled and loaded with 200 loaves of bread and 100 cakes of raisin, 100 cakes of figs, and skins of wine. And Ziba was a blessing. He was being a blessing to King David even as his kingdom was coming to an end. He blessed him. And then as he went on in verse 5 and reading, he comes across another man by the name of Shimei. And this man was quite different from the first, from Ziba. Shimei actually cursed David. He blamed him for murdering Saul's family and his entire clan. When I read this, you get two different perceptions. You get those individuals who are loyal and who see things the way they really are. And then you see the others who have their own perception and see it the way they want to see it. And this was the situation with Shimei, who in verse 7, he cursed David. He cursed him, and he told David, basically, you have got what you deserve. Your own son has taken away your kingdom. But I want you to understand that his son, Absalom, stole the kingdom because he undermined, in his wicked ways, he undermined the very fabric of what David believed in. He undermined. He didn't follow after the same God that David did, and he did not have. He wasn't cut from the same mold. He might have been the same blood from David, but we know that he had a whole different character from his father. And it is a shame that we see this, that we see people that would come up, especially a family member, that would come up and try to take away or erode the relationship of a leader, of a king, and cause people to turn against him and to turn to them. You know, because if you go back and look in chapter 15, you see in that passage that it was Absalom who waited at the city gates, and he was trying to court the people. He was trying to court all of the Israelites and letting him know, I'm here for you. I'm here to listen to you. Those who have been treated unjustly, I'm here to rectify situations for you. Just listen. I want to be here for you. I want to be the king that you need. You know, he took advantage of his father's age. He took advantage of the fact that he was constantly in battle. He was constantly doing other strategic things in order to keep the kingdom together. And because of that, he used it and was able to weave himself into there and be able to secure the loyalties of the Israelites. And you know what? The one thing is I want you to hear today is that no matter what you're going through, wherever God, whatever valley that you're going through, whatever wilderness that you're going through, just like David, King David was going through it, he had his share of problems, yes, but I want you to understand that God has something rich in store for you. He's going to have the Zebas along the way who is going to supply for your need. They are going to meet your need. They're going to bless you. One of the ironies also that I see from this is that King David, there's no way that he was going to fight back or try to kill his very own son. Here was a man who would not even touch King Saul, who he preceded. And here we see that Shimei was actually blaming David for killing the whole entire clan of King Saul. And yet, many times King David was put in a situation where he could have taken the life of King Saul, and he refused to touch him. He refused to touch the king. He allowed God to take vengeance on him and to remove him in his time. But whatever we face, we know that God is in control. He is in control, and we need to turn everything over to God. God is going to vindicate us. He's going to restore. He is going to supply for your need. I want to invite you to church this coming week. Be sure to get your name on the list. Write to us at Padova ICF at gmail.com, and we will get you down on the list. Please do it quickly because we fill up and we'll have to turn you away. So just know that we're praying for you and we love you. God bless you.